And welcome, we're on the campus of Fresno State. I'm Matt Norville talking with the new volleyball head coach, Abby Wright, as she is the 9th head coach in Fresno State volleyball history. And coach, let's get to know you. So really, why do you love the game of volleyball?
I love the strategy in it. I love just, being able to mentor young girls through it. And I think it's constantly changing. There's always something new to be learned about it, always something to discover, always developing, always evolving, even looking, back in the Stone Ages when I played and before, it's just evolved so much. And so being able to learn and grow with the game and then also learn and grow and mentor student athletes is just something that is super fun. It's a great avenue to be able to have a great impact in their lives.
Let's talk about the Stone Ages when you played. You were a very good setter. What do you feel like has changed a lot in volleyball since when you played to where it is now?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I actually think about this a lot. When I played, the libero was kind of like the hot new topic, and we used to play side-out scoring my freshman year of high school, so fun stuff. And then in college, when I went in, we were still playing to 30. So my first 2 years of college, played to 30, and then it went my junior year to 25. So rally scoring still, but just seeing that evolve, seeing how the liberos become an integral part of the game, things like that have been different.
Well, you're a good setter, and setters, for whatever reason, it seems like we get a lot of volleyball coaches that are very successful as setters. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe we are just way overconfident and think we know a lot, and I don't know. I think just, you kind of see all aspects of the game. You're working with every single player on the team. You're touching the ball theoretically 33% of the time. You're always involved. And so I don't know if it gives, I don't know if setters have just had to think about the game differently and so kind of get obsessed with it and want to keep doing it. I know for me, I didn't really know what I wanted to do in college, and I knew that I loved volleyball and I couldn't get away from the gym. So it just kind of made sense. But I don't know, that's a really good question and something to think about of why setters are still so involved. Because I do hear that a lot on a lot of staffs. And a lot of coaches that I respect were once setters, Winder himself. So it's interesting. It's a good thing to think about. I think we should do a study on it.
Yeah, we honestly should. You came in early March, and you got to meet the girls and be a part of them for spring volleyball. Just what has the campus been like for you?
It's been great. Fresno itself just has such a welcoming community. My dad's side of the family is from just north of here, and I love the hometown pride that Fresno State has, and I think the team really embodies that too. They're proud of who they play for, and they really love one another, and it's been cool to get to know them, get to know why they play, and just a sense of community here, and it's been super welcoming to me. I mean, my first day, they all ran and gave me a hug, and I think it's, when you're coming into a new environment, it's just, you don't really know how people are going to respond, and it was nothing but just great things, and super kind, and just really, really great people here. So
let's get to know you in terms of coaching. So what is really your coaching style? You've coached at really all levels, you've played at different levels, so what would you say your style is?
It's a really good question, and I get this one a lot from recruits, and I feel like I answer it, a lot of different ways, but I think, or I know, what I really want to do is humility and learning and growing with my players is a big thing. I said that when I got my last job, is I really want to grow with this program, grow with the girls, and, I don't know everything all the time, but I think through life experiences and studying the game, you learn things, and so I'd say a pretty practical style of coaching. I want to coach the person before the player, and I know a lot of people say that, but what does that really look like? Do you know your players? Do you know their backgrounds? Do you know what they're passionate about? And so that sort of like life mentoring comes first for me, because at the end of the day, we're not playing volleyball forever, and how are we preparing them for life? And I think a big thing is giving players confidence. So confidence on and off the court, and really helping them, coaching them in life, and helping them discover who they are. So I'd say that's kind of the first layer. And then second is just having fun with what we're doing. So being excellent on and off the court. I always talk about building something special on and off the court. And I think the two go hand in hand. Got to get along, but then it's always more fun when you're winning. So kind of figuring out each team and what makes them tick and running with that.
So kind of to piggyback on that, then what does success for you look like at Fresno State in terms of the volleyball program? Obviously you want to develop good character, but as far as on the court, what does that look like to you?
Yeah, I think it's important to look at end goals, but not to obsess over them, so where that becomes your main focus all the time. So thinking about what does success look like, pushing into the Mountain West tournament and looking at, something I think about a lot is, teams that you beat, can you beat them twice in a year and not splitting with them? I think in volleyball that's a big one. And then looking at how do we play fast. Something Jonathan talked about a lot was playing intelligently and playing passionately. And those are two things that I also really care about, is how do we play smart, how do we run our offense effectively, and I think something that shows the real heart of a team is what it looks like in transition when it gets really, really long. So can we be really, really good at defending and really, really good at reading? And I think if you can keep the ball right on the other side of the court as much as possible, I know that sounds really generic, but if you can keep minimizing your errors and putting the ball on the other side of the court to make the other team make the play, I think points you in the right direction. So maybe instead of thinking of, how are we going to be like making big outstanding plays, I think it's like the little things in between and keeping the game going in transition and seeing what happens.
I know you haven't coached one match yet at the Division I level. Really, what do you think is going to be maybe something that you're going to have to adjust to? Because you've coached and you've played, like I said, NAIA, Division II. What do you think is really going to be the difference at the D1 level?
I think at the D1 level, from top to bottom, there's not much variety. I think every single night you are playing really great teams. And, whether you're playing the top of the conference or not, it's really hard to win. And I think at any level you learn that. It's really, really hard to win. But I think in that sense, everybody is just bigger, faster, stronger at the next level. And so it's learning what pieces do you have that are bigger, faster, stronger than the other team, or like what matchups can you really expose. But there's multiple good options on each team, and so I think that just spreads out kind of what you have to look for. But at the end of the day, I think people are people, players are players, and it's not like it's a huge transformation of like really having to maybe coach completely differently.
I read that you were talking about Coach Winder is still going to be a mentor to you, and obviously he's loved on this campus. I personally, I love the man. Mm-hmm. So really, what does that mean to you? Is that something like you can pick up the phone, give him a call?
I mean, he already called me when he was moving down to Pepperdine, and so it's something that I'm really grateful for. He's always kind of been like a celebrity to me in the volleyball world, and then just I think in life he's kind of one of those people that you're kind of shocked that you get to be friends with. I'm stoked for that. I'm stoked that I've gotten to know his family, and just really appreciative even for the last couple months. It wasn't long under his leadership, but he's created such a good staff. It's been awesome learning from Hardy as well. He knows the game inside and out, and so just being in his circle of influence, including people that were already coaching, I think is just it feels like a real win for me already.
And final question for you, how excited are you to coach the Fresno State volleyball team?
Really excited. They're young and they're hungry, and I think that's something that really gives them a leg up on other people. Like they've already had proven, even in this spring, just competition, been able to do some really special things and play in a really great way. We have a lot of kids that can have a lot of skills and can do a lot of things well, and so it's going to be fun to see those matchups in the fall from what's been built already.
Speaking of the fall, that's head coach Abby Wright, and we will have Fresno State volleyball at the Save Mart Center early September. Their first road trip is going to be in South Carolina at the end of August. I'm Matt Norville. So long from the campus of Fresno State.